Good morning, everybody. Um, I've been wanting to share this video for just about a year now. I just didn't want the first to come up for New Year's, and I haven't made the video. I want you to know, let me give you a disclaimer before I start telling you my story. I love animals. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm an avid animal lover. So please don't come after me, bashing me, saying I hate a particular dog breed, because I do not. So I just want to make that clear. Anyways, let me start. So, January 1st, basically, of 2022, of 2023, sorry, of this year, I was attacked. My dog and I was attacked by three pit bulls. And let me back up a little bit to explain what happened. So, there was a particular neighborhood I was staying in, and my dog and I would walk on this street literally, I want to say maybe twice a day. And at any given time, there will always be a whole bunch of dogs barking, and then you would see on the front porch there was a sign that said, "Beware of dogs." And so to me, I took it as they were pretty vicious dogs or some kind of breed, because they would always hear us walking by, and without fail, they would always be barking, really ferocious. And I became disabled the year before, so I walk with my walker with my dog. So, anyways, I want to say New Year's Eve, my phone had got soaked with all the heavy torrential rain. And so on New Year's Day, I didn't have like a phone, I didn't have anything. I was like feeling devastated. There was heavy torrential rain, and then I was just like, okay. So before I took my dog for a walk on the first, I was like praising God, and I was singing, and I was doing prayers for, I want to say, for like maybe 2.5 hours. And because of my disability, to make sure I'm safe, I always say certain prayers, to make sure that I'm safe and the angels follow me, and that I'm protected by God, and that nothing bad happens to Chestnut and myself while we're walking. So, anyways, it wasn't raining that day on the first, but it was still pretty cloudy. I had like heavy jackets on, and then I had like heavy jackets on Chestnut, my dog, and we had layers of clothes pretty much on, but it was still like a gloomy day. So as we were approaching the house that had all the dogs, it was weird. It was like a movie. I literally felt like I was walking in slow motion, and I kept thinking, I don't hear the dogs. I don't hear the dogs. And then I was like, but I still kept walking, across the street like I was walking our little route that we always took. And I was thinking, this is weird. And then I saw like a guy get out of a Tesla, and then I heard him walk, and I saw him walk into that yard of that house, that particular house, and I heard another man's voice say, "Hi, honey," and then another guy's voice, and they're talking on that porch. But I kept thinking, I do not hear the dogs. And it never occurred to me that those particular dogs would be inside the house, because every time I walked by, they would be in the backyard barking loud. So, as I'm approaching in slow motion like a movie, I'm walking, with the walker with my dog. I happened to get almost to the house where the dog always barked, and something told me, look to your right. And I looked over to my right, and on the porch, there were a couple of guys, and one pit bull was on the porch, a black one. And it looked at me and my dog, and it's like dove off the porch and started coming towards us. And all I could think, even though I had been in prayer for several hours and singing and stuff and everything, for that moment I was terrified. I didn't want to have my dog ripped apart in front of me, and for that second I lost faith for a minute, you know. And I actually threw my walker, and I grabbed my dog like a little football, and I put him under my stomach. And I didn't even care about myself at that moment. And then I happened to look again on the porch, and then two other pit bulls pushed past the guys on the porch and ran over to us. Then we were on the ground, and I saw the dogs' mouths opening and closing. And then I had my dog under my stomach, but then one of the pit bulls pulled my dog from under my stomach and had us harnessed. And like I said, he had like heavy little sweaters on and stuff like that. But he pulled the dog from me. He pulled my dog from me, and he was trying to. I saw his mouth like trying to clamp on him and everything. And I grabbed him back, And then all of a sudden, like maybe 6 or 7 guys came running out of the house, and they're all like, we're all on the ground rolling around. I can laugh at it now because I'm okay and he's okay. But at the time, I was terrified. I just kept screaming like a banshee, like, no, oh my gosh, no, no, no. My face was red. I was crying. I was like all on the ground, rolling around, trying to grab him and shield him. And I know that pit bulls can lock onto you or whatever, and they can kill. And I'm like, again, the disclaimer, I love animals. I have family members that have pit bulls, and I love them. So don't think that I'm coming after this breed. But I can tell you that I do know that I could have been hurt or killed, or so could have my dog. But there is a God, and God took care of us. But at that moment, I just didn't see it. And I had just spent 2 or 2.5 hours of prayer and singing. But I was screaming, I was all over the ground, and they kept trying to grab him. I kept grabbing him back. And then eventually the 6 or 7 guys, they were able to get the other dogs or whatever. And then like it seems like a nanosecond out of nowhere, there was a police car right there. And I was like, what is going on? How did they get here so quickly? And they asked if I wanted to go to the hospital. I was like, no, I'm okay. They helped me get up with my walker. And then my dog, all his clothes and little jackets were off of him. His harness was off of him. He was just shaking, but there was no blood on him. And I was okay. But then I laughed because at the time I just had like a hair tie thing on, and it was on the ground. And one of the guys picked it up. Was like, honey, is this yours? I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And I took it back. I was mortified. I was embarrassed. But to make a long story short, my dog walked away with only like a nick on his back, on the top of his back, and like some scrapes towards his private area. And then I hurt my shoulder a little bit, and like my back already was injured, but my left shoulder had a bruise on it. And then we walked away. And then after that happened, some of my family reminded me that you could have been hurt or killed. You could have been hurt or killed.